name of the song we're going to be talking about today is 2 a.m. It was written in lockdown when, London was quiet, the streets were desolate, everyone was under lockdown. I think we were all really pining for social contact. So the song is, it's tapping into a memory of feeling just as lonely, but when you are surrounded by people. This song's called 2 a.m. and it's about late night melancholy. I definitely was missing the pub, missing those types of nights where it gets to a certain time and then you're kind of confronted with a variety of options and it could lead you to any variety of results or places. Yeah, it was during lockdown, and I had a keyboard called a Chroma Polaris that we found on tour. It was set up in a spare room in my house. I was kind of surprised that I even managed to play a chord or a few chords on the keyboard. So I'd got them going and I was like, oh wow, this is a chord sequence that makes sense and sounds kind of good. And then I put that in a loop pedal. And that was it, yeah.
That's like the phrase.
And also,
maybe the master should play it.
And also, I'd cut the loop in a bizarre kind of 5-bar thing that was so really simple, but then made very complicated by the weirdness of the circular loop.
Yeah, it's like happy accidents, right? In a way, it's sort of like slightly lazy looping.
Yeah.
And a childlike approach to an instrument. It actually came up with a good song.
I wrote the guitar part that went with it right from the start, and I think I might have done it on the synth, but I wrote this part.
The end.
We've just been rehearsing it today. The song started off as a kind of more delicate, slower, more introverted piece of music. So this was the very first one. And
it had this feel to it where it's got these big primary colour chords, but this really kind of backed off vocal. I don't know, it just had a really kind of weird vibe to it. You're like, wow, this is it's a really sad, uplifting song.
And I think actually all of us at a certain point thought it was going to be more laid back. The first full band demo we did of it, we recorded with great producer called Miles James up in Conk, in his room in Conk. And it was very late night and mellow. And so interestingly, the song kind of underwent a fairly big shift, and we then re-recorded it with a producer called Dan Carey, who kind of saw maybe more of the ravey, big pop potential of it in some way, or was craving some sort of energy from the song that wasn't in the earlier presentations. We weren't aware of whether we were going to be playing shows again or making records, and it was a period of huge uncertainty. And I think in some ways it was reassuring to ourselves to write a song that felt very us. We spent our whole career trying to sort of find ways to sound less like us.
Yeah, it sounds really exactly like you've always sounded.
Yeah, it's does it though? Because we've just
tried so hard to do something new.
I think when we made our first record, Antidotes, there was such a strong footprint of how that sounded and how distinctive a sound in some ways it was, that probably ever since then we've been trying to not sound like that in a way. I think our passion for being in the band and making music, probably that's kind of actually the thing that's really endured in a way where even if lots of things can become tiring or challenging or confusing, in our wider lives, I think just quite a simple dedication to each other and playing music is the thing that's not changed.